Welcome to a Fernando guide, or as a more accurate name, Cyberbullying 101. And you might be asking yourself for a long time already, why do a lot of people, including me, say that Fernando is the best tank in the game? Why it isn't MacLeod and his hook, or Beric, or whoever? Why this smug-faced guy? Well, today I'll tell you exactly why. We'll go through his entire kit and define why Fernando is and probably forever will be overpowered. No matter how many times they will nerf him, Fernando will always be on fire. What, no? I'll try again later. First thing you see when you get to play Fernando is his huge, erected and ready for action HP bar. 5000. You might say, but hey, it's not that big, even Ash has like 600 more. No, you don't understand. It's just the base amount of HP. But if you wanna actually kill this dude, get ready to output like 3 times that amount. Yes baby, this guy has the highest amount of effective HP in the entire game. You can get him to half HP and think, well, he's halfway dead. But that's where you're wrong, kiddo. Fernando is always at half HP. First thing in the morning he loses half HP, right before he brushes his teeth. But getting him from half HP down to 0, that's a bit different story. It's like bosses in Dark Souls, the lower they get, the harder it is to fight them. Yes, it's that hard to kill a Fernando that knows what he's doing. But why though? Well, first of all, he has the best shield in the game. No other shield is any comparable to that thing. It's the only shield in the game that allows you to block Victor's ult. All the rest of shields are shit compared to this one. By the way, fun fact, shit in Russian means shield. Anyways, it's not a stationary shield like Beric's. That means that Fernando can rotate it, move with it and just block everything he doesn't like fat girls, or friend requests on Facebook from people with their names written in Arabic, or how about Lex Ultimate? Yep, he can definitely escape the law. Or MacLeod swings when he's in his ultimate, challenging MacLeod, easy peasy. Or how about Beric's ultimate turret? Yep, Fernando can nope all of that shit away. He can engage with it, he can disengage with it, but most importantly, he can pull it up in the right moment and heal. And while nobody can shoot through his shield, nobody can apply cauterize so he can heal at full speed. But hey Chavs, how does Fernando heal? Isn't he a tank and not a support? That's where you're wrong again, kiddo. He doesn't need support because supports are for weak teams. Fernando is a strong and independent man lover. Look at this shit. This is not a legendary card. This is just a loadout card. This fucker has self-healing that actually heals you for 400 HP a second. Almost double the Janus healing. It's like having 2 Januses that will heal him, but only when he's holding his shield up and his HP below 60%. Well, most supports can do even that anyways. So imagine this scenario. He engages you with his shield and drops it only when he's in range to hit you. With his weapon that doesn't require aiming and hits all the targets in his way and can be fired without actually stopping dealing damage. And then he trades shots with you and maybe your teammates too. If he manages to catch you all in some closed area where you are grouped up. You can't really escape that and all you can do is furiously shoot at him while moving backwards. Now, after he kills like 1 or 2 of your teammates, he notices that he's pretty low. Not super low, he has like 1500 HP. And then what he does? He pulls up his shield again, thanks to his legendary that allows him to have only 8 seconds cooldown on it. Now, when his shield is up and you keep furiously shooting at him in a desperate attempt to finish him off, he heals himself, right in front of your eyes. And you can't do shit about that, unless you play one of his few counters. But if you're not, you just have to look at him getting his HP back, after he 1v3 killed 2 of your teammates, and he's at 60% HP again, and he's ready to do that all over again. No other tank can do that shit. This is why Fernando is such a big pain in the ass. This is why he's been banned or picked in every single competitive game. And this is why you should learn how to do all of above too, if you still haven't. Now about tips and tricks that you might find useful for Fernando. First off, his charge has a trick. The moonwalk. If you have your shield up and you have it in between of you and your enemies, so you really don't want to show your back, but you need to retreat, that's how it's done. You can jump and then mid-jump turn your camera in the direction you wanna move, press the button to use your charge and then turn your camera back in the direction of your enemy. Sounds confusing, right? That's how it looks. But there are two things you have to consider. First, you absolutely have to jump when doing it. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. And second, you have to do all of it fast. So get in the shooting range and practice until you're good with that move. His weapon is kinda tricky too. Now, the way this gun works, it deals 350 damage per second, plus a burn effect that deals 100 a second for 2 seconds. So if you hold your fire button, you will deal 450 damage per second. Most new Fernando players are trying to hold their fire button all the time and burn everything with their maximum potential damage, and they run out of ammo mid-fight. But if you watch how the best pro players play Fernando, like Wardoom, you'll notice that most of the time they're just tap firing to apply that burn damage over time. There are a few reasons to do that. First, shooting slows you down. So if you're only shooting 1/3 of the time, then you are slowed 1/3 of the time. That means that you can chase people more efficiently if you tap fire. Second reason is that you can actually keep firing indefinitely. You won't need to reload. There is also constant pressure on your enemies. It can constantly apply cauterize. It's just a nice thing to do sometimes. So just keep in mind that you aren't always obligated to deal your absolute maximum potential damage. Sometimes it's smarter to play off of your dot effect and infinite ammo. If you wanna use your shield to block Victor's ult, that's how it's done. You point your shield in Victor's direction and just slowly move backwards. Well, that's about all the tricks. Fernando is not a very tricky champion. He's more of a tactical guy that does everything by checklist. Bully the backline, check. Get on the point, check. Now need to taunt with my stupid laugh emote. The ult, nothing secret in here. You can use it to save yourself, you can use it to save your teammates. You can use it to negate control effects, but most of the time you wanna use it to negate big ults like Endro or Ceres. It's a nice, combo breaker that doesn't allow enemy champions output their maximum DPS in some situations. Keep in mind that it only doesn't let you drop below 1500 HP, so activating it at full HP doesn't make sense most of the time. As a general rule to apply to your Fernando playstyle, remember, there are no tanks. There are flankers with shields, and Fernando is the flankiest of them all. Also, don't forget that you are not a wall, you are a champion with an OP weapon, so just use it. Sometimes it's better to drop your shield and attack instead of holding it up and become a punching bag. The best Fernando players are bullying the absolute crap out of their enemies. They don't stand still, they don't wait to get shot. So yeah, burn people. Do it, блять. Items on this guy are really situational and depend on your playstyle. I like going with Nimble and either Cauterize if the enemy team has some nice heals, or even Rekka if they got personal shields like Torvald does. Cauterize on Fernando is incredible, since he can reapply it indefinitely. If you need to actually be more careful and less aggressive because you can't catch up with the enemy damage champions, then you should probably take Kronos instead of Nimble. Legendary cards are an easy choice. If you are really bad at the game and wanna show everyone that you're bad, but feel confident enough about your skills, just like all the noobs in the comments that spam that they play better than me, then you might get the Scourge. But I warned ya, it's the worst legendary for Fern. If you for some reason didn't get the card that heals you in your loadout, then first of all, add it there, the fuck. But you can also get the healing legendary, so you can be healing yourself while healing yourself, I guess. And my personal favorite card that makes perfect sense with Fernando's playstyle and deck? Aegis. Aegis? I don't know, the one that gives you infinite duration on your shield and drops the cooldown to 8 seconds. Super annoying to deal with, incredible for survivability, and allows you to engage and disengage more often. So that's all about Fernando.